All right, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, and I was gonna say wrestling, and T.G.A fanatics, welcome to Bogy's Corner! All right, this is a special edition here. We are in episode 14, I can't believe it. Now this episode for Bogy's Corner, I am calling Bogy Far From Home. I'm going to go ahead and talk about Spiderman 2, Far From Home, that just came out.
Yes.
Now, just to share with you guys who is here with me, I got my boy, Player1, that's right. And I have my son here.
Blink.
That's it. So he's joining us here on this special episode. He's definitely a big Spider-Man fan, and you're going to get to see what it is that he enjoys. And
now, we flew him in with 3 ninjas?
the 3 few ninjas did have to bring him all the way from New Jersey. He did put up a fight. You know, he is a hip-hop artist, so he definitely knows what the rough streets are about. But the 3 few ninjas, with their skills and their skill set, they eventually, of course, they won. They brought him here. They blindfolded him. I hope the plane right here was smooth. Was it okay?
It was terrible, honestly.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah.
There was supposed to be food on the flight, but we have him here, and don't worry, we'll fly you back, very safely to,
Appreciate it.
to your house. So, all right, and our special guest of today, we have the amazing, the phenomenal, the spectacular Spiderman. Oh, yeah. Yo, Spidey, I can't believe. Can I hug you?
No.
Okay. Maybe at the end of the episode?
No.
Okay.
Never.
And if I do, you will what?
I will make you blind
Oh,
for the rest
okay.
of your life.
T.G.A, we have a hospital bill you'll cover?
I have a pause button.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, we might have to use it. All right, guys. So today is July 27th, right? July 27th, 2019, and we are live. I think we're live, right?
We are live.
Are you live?
We're live.
All right.
We're live.
You live?
Yeah.
All right. So, again, this episode is called Bogy Far From Home. Now, spoiler alert, okay? We are going to be talking about a lot of the things that happen in the movie. So, this is your opportunity to pause this video, go watch the movie, and then come back, all right? So, you've been foretold. Huge shout out again for Player1 for putting the T.G.A show together, giving me a platform here to share all the love that I have in my life. And a shout out to the rest of the T.G.A gang. Thanks a lot, GB, for being back there. We got Lou in the house. He's doing his thing. All right, so what is Bogy's Corner about? This is my platform to share all the things that I have done from a child to an adult. You know what? I've never grown up. All right? I mean, yeah, I have my, responsibilities. But at the end of the day, I still try to have fun with, everything that I've grown up with.
Well, I'm not sure about that.
What part?
The grown-up part?
I think I've grown up. Haven't I grown up? Isn't that pretty cool?
No. You still wear those glasses.
Negative.
And so this is my fashion style. So since the 1980s, I've been a video gamer, comic book collector, toy collector, movie buff, movie collector. This is part of my video collection here. As you guys can see, I have Spider-Man from the first franchise, and this is Spider-Man 2.1. Did you know there was a 2.1 that came out?
Yeah, it had some extra footage.
Yes, yeah. So, I got the whole collection here, and forget about it. Comic books galore. One day, I am going to do a segment on my comic books, and I'm going to bring them here. I'm going to dust them off. You've seen them, right? You've seen the boxes.
Yeah. Huge collection.
Yes. All right. So, Bogy's Corner here is a way for me to try to educate, reinvigorate the passion in all the youngsters of here, but also the OSKs. The OSKs. You guys know what the OSKs are?
No idea.
OSKs.
The old school kids.
That's right.
That's it. Hey, we still enjoy what it was that we grew up on. All right. So I'm gonna have my son Blink here help me out here. I'm just gonna go ahead and cover the last 3 episodes that we went over, and again, you guys have to go ahead and check out all of the Bogy's Corners out there. So for episode 11,
Bogy was a Toys R Us kid.
that's right. That was a fun one.
That was.
Episode 12.
Bogy the Jedi.
That's it. And I can't wait for December for that last Jedi movie that's coming
Now,
out.
how were you able to wield the sword?
How?
Yeah, how were you able to wield that? Because only a
Hold it
true
by the
Jedi.
handle. Oh, I am a true Jedi.
You are?
I'm a good guy, yes. I'm not a bully like some.
Oh, okay.
You both are
And,
bullies.
I'm sorry?
You both are bullies.
Oh, that sounded like a bully remark.
Yeah, that did sound like a bully.
And episode 13?
Bogey loves the MCU.
That's right. So, I talked about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, all these amazing movies that have been put together for our enjoyment, and we are covering today the last one, the last movie out of this first, I guess, is ending the phase 3, number 23, the 23rd movie. Now, we had Endgame, and we showed the snap. Unfortunately, you weren't here, but then you came back. And
That felt so bad.
it did, huh? How did it feel, and what were those 5 years like for you?
Well, I can't explain how it felt, but basically the 5 years were probably all pitch black. I don't really remember a thing after that.
Yeah. All right, but hey, at least you guys came back, and we're glad to have you guys back here. So let's talk about the movie itself. So here are some specifications. PG-13 rating, directed by John Watts in the movies July 2nd. Runtime 130 minutes, put out by Sony Studios. Now, here is the epilogue of what the movie's about. Peter Parker returns in Spider-Man Far From Home, next chapter of this Spider-Man trilogy, Homecoming. Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man decides to join his best friends, Ned, MJ, the rest of the gang, on a European vacation. However, Peter's plans to leave and not do his superhero stuff is short. And all of a sudden, Nick Fury comes and lets him know that he needs Spider-Man. So, we get to see Spider-Man and a new member of the MCU, Mysterio. And he looked pretty cool, right?
Yeah, I love the costume.
Yeah, he looked amazing. Well, yeah, I guess you don't like that he appeared.
Well, they were friends, right?
For a little while.
For a bit.
Yeah.
And then he turned on me, tried to kill me, and then
Ooh.
he revealed my identity, which is probably not true. And yeah.
Okay. So sorry. So,
Sucks.
let's talk about this. Let's have an analogy of these movies that have come out so far for this franchise of Spider-Man. In the first Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man was really anxious to help in, being a superhero, right?
Yeah.
Now, the second one, Far From Home, what was his demeanor? What was he acting like?
He was taking his role seriously.
Okay. Well, but he did want to try to get away from doing
He wanted to get away from doing the hero stuff.
Yeah, he kind of wanted to get away from the limelight.
Yeah.
So this is kind of the character that we saw here, develop. Now
He
we're
was
hoping.
more. Well, you're talking about this movie, right?
Yeah, Far From Home.
Yeah. So he was more interested in just being a teenager.
Yeah. And again, very unique situation. I can't believe that you're defending our neighborhood as a teenager, but you're doing your thing. Now let's hope the development process goes where Spider-Man 3, and this is a prediction that I'm giving, that Spider-Man finally accepts the mantle of being a superhero, one of the forefront superheroes, because this is something that Tony Stark, aka Iron Man, kind of wanted. And he did show this in the last few movies, how he wanted to anoint Peter Parker, Spider-Man, to take over the mantle, kind of foretelling that maybe one day he's not going to be around. And of course, in Endgame, we saw what happened, right? So this is what I'm feeling the character, this character is going to go ahead and turn into as the Spider-Man that the universe needs. Now, the death of Tony Stark really affected Peter Parker. Of course, it also affected Pepper Potts and Happy, and of course his daughter. But Spider-Man and him definitely had a very strong connection. And let's talk about Spider-Man. So what Spider-Man really did not have a father figure. The closest he had to that was
Uncle Ben.
Uncle Ben. So from there, I mean, he's growing up, with his grandmother, Aunt May. But of course, Tony Stark comes along and he kind of sees him as a father figure. So that was a huge loss. I mean, he kind of lost a father figure. Let's talk about some of the things that happened towards the end of the movie, which was really amazing. Now, what was one of the biggest highlights in when the end credits came on for you guys?
Oh man, the reveal of someone's identity.
Yeah,
Who?
yeah, they came out.
Who?
Yeah. We'd rather not say it in front of you.
Who's identity?
I guess you haven't seen the movie, but
I have seen the
there was a reveal. There was a reveal of who Spider-Man is.
Who
At
is
the end
he?
of the movie. Do you know?
I'd rather not
Oh,
say.
Peter. I don't know who he is.
Oh, good one.
Yeah, I think he got something
It's
wrong
cute,
with his
right?
head. He must have took some pills or something like that.
Okay. Now, who announced this? Who was making that announcement, guys?
Which was awesome.
Who?
Jonas.
James Jonas Jameson. Yes.
Yeah.
So that was incredible to see as a reveal, and not only that, but it was the same actor that played him in the first franchise.
Yeah.
And let me tell you that he portrays JJJ to the T. You know, he literally jumped out from the comic book pages and is giving us that, you know, that kind of acting and presentation. So, you know, I can't wait to see, you know, him popping up in the next Spider-Man movie. All right. So let me ask you guys, since you guys have seen the movie and you were in the movie, what did you like about Spider-Man? What would you say is your favorite part of the movie? So we'll start off with Player One. Favorite part of the movie?
My favorite part was, for me, was when Mary Jane,
Uh-huh.
when she found out
Mm.
that Peter was, was Spider-Man.
Now she was only, who remembers
She
what
had-
percentage?
60.
Yeah.
63% sure. But of course, you know, he revealed it, so
So I
he
thought
made it
that,
100%.
I thought that was cool because now she was more than just like involved. She knew already. So it
Exactly.
made it pretty interesting, and I'll be curious to see what happens in the next movie.
Cool. All right, so Blink, what would you say from Spider-Man Far From Home is your favorite part?
Definitely for me was the last fighting scene.
Okay.
When Spider-Man almost died again
Mm.
from one of Mysterio's illusions. We caught him and then ended up killing him.
Yeah, yeah.
Killing himself, basically.
Yeah, and at that point, he finally looked like he was trusting his spider sense.
Yeah.
Spider, or Peter Tingle, or what
Don't
was he
call it
called?
that. Please don't.
Okay, so spider sense sounds better?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that was all May that started the Peter Tingle thing. Okay, Tingle Tingle? All right, I'll share my favorite part of the movie is when the conversation between Mysterio and Spider-Man at the bar, and Peter Parker went ahead and gave over the glasses that Tony Stark gave him. You know, and kind of seeing, you know, that this was his way out of the superhero business, and entrusting, and not only that, but when Mysterio put on those glasses, what did he look like?
Tony Stark.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow, it took me a moment, but it was like, I can see that. And you could see that in Peter Parker's eyes. When he put them on, you know, he saw Tony Stark in him. And then, of course, you know, Peter Parker leaving, probably felt that he had a burden come off his shoulders. All of a sudden, Mysterio celebrates. And we see the whole ambiance of the environment, you know, the special effects coming down, and him revealing that this was a plan all the time.
So do I look like Tony? Remind me?
No, you look more like unhappy.
Unhappy.
Yeah. So this was an incredible reveal, incredible turning point to the movie. And of course, you know, we know Mysterio's a bad guy, but you know, we've seen the trailers and everything showing him, you know, oh, he's the guy from alternate universe coming to save us, good guy. But we knew in the back of our mind, no, he's a bad guy, So, you know, we finally saw how he turned. So that was definitely very exciting.
So what was your favorite part in your movie?
First of all, why is it every single time you guys' favorite movies is when I'm about to get killed, or when I accidentally give something to someone that shouldn't be good, or when someone finds out about my identity? Why is that guys your favorite moment?
Because that's dramatic.
Yeah.
What do you
like
want us to be
drama.
your favorite part when you're swinging with Mary Jane?
I mean, it felt
Come on,
good,
bro.
but
Bruh.
another thing happened. I did just when I was on vacation.
Really?
Yeah.
You're a teenager. That's a teenager answer.
Exactly.
All right. So, rating. What would you guys rate it out of 5? 5 being best of. 5, you know, to me a 5 is Back to the Future. 5, Avengers Endgame. Those are 5s. So what would you rate this movie as, you know, as good or as bad as it might have been? So Player 1 out of 5.
Well, comparing it to on that level,
Of course.
I really loved it. I would say a 4.5.
4.5?
4.5.
All right, sounds good.
Yes.
So Blink.
Same for me, 4.5.
4.5. I guess my standards are a little higher. I know Spider-Man could be done much better. This was a great movie. But 4 out of 5 is what I'll give it. And, 4 is still a strong number. But 5, to reach that for me is like endgame status, Back to the Future status, the type of movie that, I can just watch over and over.
Yeah, like-
But of course, I can watch Spider-Man over and over.
Like
There's no
Player
doubt.
1 is missing, part 2.
Yeah, I watched that one time,
Yeah.
halfway through, paused it, then turned it off. But anyway, so that is our rating. And well, Spider-Man, how do you feel in this particular franchise? Compared to the first franchise you had, right? Tobey Maguire, and then over here in your second franchise, and now is the third one
I mean,
in the
everything
MCU.
that happened was kind of fake. This is the real Spider-Man, and I actually find much worse crime than you see in the movies. That's not Mysterio. Mysterio is from an alternate universe that probably can't make that technology just based on his suit. His suit is trash. But
Oh,
so basically, I like the movie. It seems really good, but that's not really me. I fight different crime.
Oh, okay.
And what kind of crime is that, if you don't mind me asking?
Crime that you couldn't take.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
on the PlayStation?
No.
Oh.
I mean, they made me a game on the PlayStation.
Come on,
So
real life,
they
man.
made-
Look, this is the real Spider-Man, right? Touch, poke.
Stop.
Okay. All right, guys. This is the end here of this episode here of Bogey Far From Home. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you haven't seen the movie, you need to see it. So, definitely go and check it out. And remember, this is the ending of that phase 3. Can't wait for the next movie, the next phase 4, where definitely Spider-Man is going to have a bigger role. I mean, we're thinking that, okay, we've seen a lot of great Spider-Man storytelling so far from this particular Spider-Man in the MCU. But yeah, he's definitely going to have a much bigger role throughout the rest of the MCU, starting from phase 4. All right, guys, so this is your boy here with Player 1. And
Blink.
I am Captain Bogey with a special guest.
Spider-Man.
Yeah!
All right. And you just watched the Bogy's Corner. Ah!
Yeah!
Oh,
Bruh.
sorry.
You're that scared?
Sorry.
Sorry, yeah.
I couldn't contain myself.
Those are the worst type of people in the world.
And
Captain Bogey. Enough said. Oh.
game over.